How many teams across the league is Zach Hyman a first line player for?
It depends on how many teams need that role play that he does.
Yeah, here's the correct answer. Depends who the coach is.
Okay.
Right? Babcock, I'm sure if you were to ask Mike Babcock, he wouldn't be like, oh yeah, that's a first line player. He reminds me of
Henrik Zetterberg.
Zetterberg and Datsuk. Reminds me of all those guys I coached. Paul Correa. No, he wouldn't say that, but he's got a job. And he called him the best forechecker in the league. I think that's hyperbole, but Zach Hyman is a really good bassist.
He's more of a drummer.
You think? No. Drummers are stars.
Yeah.
Drummers are stars.
Yeah,
He's
they keep the whole tempo of everything. But I've had this yelled at me for many years by my father. So you have to remember that. Austin Matthews is the front man.
He's the lead guitarist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Singer,
and then you got, what would Nylander be?
He'd be the drummer. If you have if it's a trio, if it's Rush.
Yeah.
Let's say it's Rush.
Okay.
But except for the fact that Geddy Lee was the singer and the bassist, but
Neil Peart's overrated.
Hyman is.
My dad's gonna fight you. He met him and he was just like, I'm Neil Peart.
Because guitar players and drummers, they can do solos, but they also work really well together. But what's interesting about the bassist is, and I was reading this in Sting's biography, and he said the reason I chose bass, he's like, because I could play guitar, is that the bassist basically controls where the band goes musically. He said it's the bass that is the basis of an entire song. And wouldn't you say the same thing about how Zach Hyman kind of conducts himself on the ice? There's a lot of what he does that leads to Austin Matthews.
He gets them the puck. And what are they good at doing? Things with the puck. Yeah, he hands them the guitar.
Yeah. And
he's the drum tech.
Yeah.
My dad was a drum tech once for Sebastian Bach.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Of Skid Row fame.
Yeah. He handed him drumsticks, which I think is what a drum tech is.
Well, Sebastian Bach didn't, he was the lead singer, so it would have been Sebastian Bach's drummer.
Drummer.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that was implied.
Unless Sebastian Bach was out there swinging his microphone around and a drumstick.
With his microphone. Can you imagine how terrible that would have sounded? No, I think that's a decent analogy. Zach Hyman plays bass. And, no one goes to a concert for the bassist. But unless you take the bassist off the stage. And then you're like, oh, okay. If you put another guitarist on that line, another guy who can shred, you'd be like, you know what? That's kind of neat, but they don't really need it.
Mm-hmm. And there's too much shredding.
There's a lot of shredding going on.
Yeah. There's another act on this bill.
What if you're really into that kind of music?
I don't know. Is everyone always into Dragon Force?
And Joe Satriani.
Yeah.
I went to a Joe Satriani concert once by accident. I just showed up too early for the Deep Purple concert that he was opening for. And unless you like guitar and can play it, Joe Satriani sucks because he's like, he literally got up to the microphone and he's like, here's a song I wrote about aliens, but you won't understand because there's no lyrics. It's an hour of him just playing guitar.
If you know how to play guitar and you're really into that, you're like, oh my God.
Wow, look at what he can do on that fretboard.
Yeah.
But what made Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen and David Lee Roth so great is that they had Eddie, who is an incredible guitar player, Alex, who's an incredible drummer, Michael Anthony, who the hell's Michael Anthony? Oh, he's the bassist. He's the guy that just gets out of their way.
Michael Anthony is actually the guy who painted David.
Yes, that's also
there. Yes, painted David.
This is a different one. This is Michael Anthony Sobayevsky.
No.
David
from Southern California. But anyway.
This is why I go to Flogging Molly shows.
The point is...
we just get drunk and push each other.
The point is, most people, a more accessible type of music would be Van Halen. If you are a huge fan of shredding, go see a Joe Satriani show for sure. But nobody's going to dispute that a better overall concert experience for all involved is going to be Van Halen because they have a complete package, you could say.
So Mike Babcock used to have Thomas Holmstrom play bass.
Right.
And Johan Franzen play bass.
And what about Justin Applicator?
Plays bass.
But sometimes the Senators make the Stanley Cup Finals.
With tambourines.
Oh, sorry, not the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, yeah.
Well, every once in a while.
Dial it back.
Let's calm down. A one-dimensional band wins a Grammy.
Well,
yeah. What do we got? Well, we got the best guitar player in the world. a bunch of maracas. This one guy can play bass.
A bunch of maracas.
A flute.
And a drummer. They got a drummer.
Yeah.
Good drummer.
And
Does Fanuff play the flute?
I don't know. Yeah, no, he's a gong.
He's a gong.
Yeah, bwah, just the one big one.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything with any sort of finesse. Like
No.
he hits hard, he skates hard, he shoots hard. That's all he does. It's just hard.
Anderson is a wall. You can just Buddy Rich it and put your drumsticks all over the wall. And a fiddle. What kind of fiddle? You know, the one from that Yellow Card song. Oh, yes, I understand what you're talking about. Whatever, they made it. They made it. Sometimes weird bands
Even the
do
Lumineers
well.
can win a Grammy. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Arcade Fire, won all
They
these
have a
awards.
bazillion different instruments, but they made it work.
Senators are a little bit like Arcade Fire.
A little bit. Doesn't mean they're not good.
In that they're overrated. Whoa! Whoa! Sorry, I made a lot of people mad for no good reason. I'm sorry.
Because music's intensely personal and very subjective. You can't tell me one band's better than another. It's all how
But
you
that
hear it.
band scored 8 goals. No, there's no stats
didn't.
in music. No.
You all told me Arcade Fire was done, but look at Bobby Ryan now. Sorry.